Hello, welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join us in another episode. This episode I like to call slightly informative, and that's where what I'm going to do I hope you will find slightly informative. Fingers crossed. Today on the S1000R I'm going to fit the Givi Tank lock ring for a Givi Tank bag onto the S1000R. Now this is a 2021-22 model onwards. It might be the same as the previous versions, but this will give you a bit of a guide anyway, fingers crossed. Right, so the things you'll need is a bike. If you don't have a bike, then just watch anyway, it'll be fun. The main things you'll need is the Givi Tank lock ring. I'm really struggling to say that word. And this is it here. And the part number I'm using is BF22, and it's actually for a BMW R1200 GS 0821 something, but I have checked and I have test fitted this, so it definitely fits and it crosses over. So the kit itself is the base, which is this is the whole thing. So some of them are two-piece kits, this is a single piece. You have a little hinge in the kit, and you also have a hinge, I don't know if the camera will see it, the hinge pin and a couple of screws. You'll also need a T25 torque spit with an extension bar, your ratchet, a Phillips PZ2 screwdriver, and of course your bike key. Now, on a side note, I'm not going to be using any of this. I'm going to retain and use the original parts, because personally I think they fit better. And really important, duct tape. You really need duct tape, and I'll show you why in a second. Right. So, open up the fuel cap, and there's 4 screws that you want to take out, and they are here, here, here and here. Don't undo the top one, you just leave that as it is. And the first thing is the duct tape. We're going to cover up the filler neck, and then that means if when I'm taking out one of these Torx bolts, should I drop it, it won't fall in the tank and put me into a whole world of trouble, because that is indeed the last thing you want. So you want to just carefully loosen these off. And this is quite a quick thing to do, so it doesn't take long, even kind of taking your time, about 10 minutes. So that's one out, that's 2 out, three, and 4. Now, a good hint, leave your screws where you're going to find them. You're not going to lose them, you're not going to knock them over, and then you have to start buying bits and pieces because you couldn't find it or you kicked it somewhere. Right, now this, although it's a bit tight, you just wiggle it out nice and careful, and you notice that this gasket pops up, but you want to leave that in place. There we go, and we'll leave the duct tape in for now. Right, so we'll leave that on. We'll lock this just now. For the screws, excuse me, it's these two here. So it's one on the outside and the other one on the outside. The other ones you just leave. Right, so now we've got the filler cap out. you'd want to undo these two screws here, this one and this one. Leave the rest well alone. Get a fly in here, it keeps buzzing around. Right, that's one out. Two out. Now, this is the trickiest bit. Not really this thing taking out two screws, that's dead easy. But when you're swapping it over from this to the cap, it can be a little bit nadgery. So I would definitely say either work on a bench like this or work on the floor with a towel or something down, so if you do drop something and it's easy to do, you don't start losing everything. So we're going to take the cover off, and to get the hinge out, it kind of comes up and in. Once that's done, you can put that to one side. You want to fit it up from underneath, and the pin moves a little bit, so that's us. We're now in. Now this is where it's a little bit faffy, because with the standard cap it's all flat, but this has obviously got this raised, which is the lock. So you want to clamp it with your fingers and hold it with your thumb. Put on the cover. And then we'll just gently do one and get it started. And then we'll do the other one. Now, because it's lined up, it's clicked shut, as you would expect. Just tighten it up. So again, you don't want to over tight. It's a plastic bracket hinge into a plastic housing, so you don't have to go nuts. Literally just carefully tighten it, and when you feel it just nip, then that's you. And that is really it. Now, on a side note, when it's not in the bike, you get this, a bit of rattling, but that will go away once it's in the bike. Right, unlock the cap again, and then that's your space for the 4 screws. This is a tighter fit than the original cap, so you will have to just press it into place, and then just a finger touch pressure. Once you know it's seated, you're good to go. So get the screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's really now that you'll be glad that you have the duct tape in. So do 1. 2, and again just finger tight. 3 and 4. Now, I always like to just finger tight, because then you know it's seated properly, and it's going to be flat, nothing's going to be cross threaded. Now if you'll notice, I've only got little pressure on this. It's literally, I'm not holding it away out at the end. There's no need to over tighten this. Literally once it nips up, that's it, you're good to go. So once that's done, it's now time to take away a duct tape. You might use that another time. And then it's simply click that in, and then just give it a check, even with the key in it. That's not moving. Nothing's moving. Nice and secure. Job done. So as I say, did I get it? Nope, missed it. It's about a 10-minute job. It really is straightforward. Just a couple of things to be mindful of. Cover up the filler neck so you don't drop anything in it. Have everything handy before you start. Alright folks, I really hope you enjoyed this first episode of who knows how many, of Slightly Informative. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Good comments only. Alright peeps, take it easy. Catch you in the next one.